All right, let's talk about something that is on every small business owner's mind: growth. And specifically, how to use business intelligence, or BI, to get there. Because while BI promises so much, there are these 5 silent killers that can completely derail your efforts before you even get started. So today, we're going to expose them so you can actually get the results you're paying for.
You know the feeling. You finally invest in a BI tool. Maybe it's Zoho Analytics or Power BI. You're dreaming of this future where every single decision is backed by cold, hard data. You see charts pointing to explosive growth, and you can practically taste that huge return on investment. It's an amazing vision, isn't it?
But then, a few months go by, and crickets. The excitement's gone, no one on the team is even logging in to look at the dashboards, and that dream of data-driven growth feels, well, a million miles away. If that sounds even remotely familiar, trust me, you are not alone. And we're about to break down exactly why this happens so often.
Look, the problem usually isn't the tool you bought, and it's definitely not your ambition. The real issue comes down to 5 incredibly common and often invisible mistakes. These are the things that quietly kill your return on investment by just draining your time, your money, and your team's motivation. So let's drag them into the light one by one.
Okay, first up, this is, without a doubt, the single biggest mistake that small businesses make when they dip their toes into BI. It's the absolute foundation, and if you get this part wrong, everything, and I mean everything that you build on top of it, is just going to crumble.
And here it is: chasing data without ever defining what success actually looks like. You can't just say you want to track sales. I mean, what does that even mean? Are you trying to boost sales from new customers, or are you focused on getting repeat purchases? Without that super specific goal, that key performance indicator, your dashboard is just making pretty charts. Yep, they're colorful, but they're completely meaningless.
So here's the fix. You have to get specific. Start by defining just 3 to 5 core KPIs that are directly tied to the health of your business. Think revenue, costs, customer retention, the big stuff. And make those goals SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And please, don't just set them and forget them. You've got to review them every quarter to make sure they're still the right things to be measuring. All right, on to our second silent killer. This one is all about design, and it's what happens when our initial excitement kind of gets the best of us and leads to total information overload. Have you ever opened up a dashboard and immediately felt like you were trying to fly a spaceship? Yeah, that's the problem. We think more data must mean more value, so we just cram every chart, every filter, every metric onto one single screen. And what happens? Your team gets completely overwhelmed, they tune out, they stop using it, and all that potential for quick decisions just grinds to a halt. The solution is a total mindset shift. Instead of trying to build that complicated spaceship control room, you need to aim for a micro dashboard. So you're not trying to answer every possible question with 20 different visuals. Instead, you're using just 3 to 5 visuals to answer one specific business question. Believe me, this kind of simplicity doesn't just look cleaner, it actually empowers your team to make quick, confident decisions.
Okay, killer number 3. Now this one is sneaky. It's insidious because it happens behind the scenes, and it's basically poisoning all of your insights before you even get a chance to see them.
I see it all the time. A business takes these messy, chaotic spreadsheets, you know, the ones full of typos, duplicate entries, outdated numbers, and they plug them directly into their brand new BI tool, somehow expecting perfectly accurate forecasts. It's never going to work. If your source data is a mess, your reports are going to be a mess, and that completely destroys any trust your team has in the system. It really is as simple as that. This old saying is the absolute golden rule of data analytics. You just can't build a winning business strategy on a foundation of bad data. The fix is simple, but it's critical. You have to clean and audit your data before it ever touches your BI tool. It's totally non-negotiable.
Let's keep moving. Killer number 4 is a powerful reminder that any tool, no matter how fancy or expensive, is only as good as the person who's actually using it. Honestly, this might be one of the most expensive mistakes you can make. You spend all this money on licenses for Power BI or Zoho Analytics, but then you don't invest a single dime in teaching your team how to use them to find real insights. You can't just hand someone the keys and expect them to know how to drive. Without real training and a plan to get everyone on board, those expensive licenses are just, well, they're shelfware. So, the solution is to actually build a data-driven culture, and you can do that in 3 steps. First,
Train your team not just on the software, but on how to read the data and ask the right questions. Then, host regular BI insight sessions where you all discuss what the numbers are actually telling you. And finally, you have to celebrate it. Reward the people who are using data to make smarter calls. It's about making data a team sport, not a solo activity.
And that brings us to our final silent killer. And in a lot of ways, this one's the most heartbreaking of all. Why? Because it means you did all the hard work, you got so close, and then you got nothing for it.
So imagine this. You've set your KPIs. You've built a beautiful, simple dashboard. Your data is squeaky clean, and your team is trained. And then you find it. A brilliant insight, a genuine aha moment. And then nothing happens. The insight just sits there. It becomes an interesting piece of trivia you might mention at a meeting. This is the ultimate failure of any BI project.
We have to completely reframe how we think about this whole process. Business intelligence is not a history lesson. Its job isn't to just create a pretty report that tells you what already happened last month or last quarter. This is the key. Data is a tool for action. It is all about using what you've just learned to change what happens tomorrow, and next week, and next year. Every single insight has to be turned into an action plan. That's the huge difference between just collecting data and actually executing on it.
Now, before we wrap this up, I want to give you a quick bonus tip. This is a powerful mindset shift that is especially important for small businesses.
Look, what works for a giant corporation like Amazon is not going to work for you. They have massive teams of data scientists. You probably have people wearing 10 different hats. So forget what the Fortune 500 companies are doing and embrace lean analytics. That means you measure only the things that have a direct impact on your profit and your customer satisfaction. Keep it simple, keep it focused, and keep it effective.
So, how do you pull all of this together? The secret is to stop thinking about BI as this huge one-time project. Instead, I want you to start thinking about it as a series of simple, powerful habits. Habits that will transform your dashboards from just being wall decorations into being your company's compass.
And these are the 4 habits that will change everything for you. First, clarity. Start with just a handful of core KPIs. Second, simplicity. Build those focused micro dashboards. Third, clean data. Make a monthly data audit part of your routine. And the most important one, consistent action. Never, ever let a good insight go to waste. Turn it into a plan.
At the end of the day, your data is the language your business uses to speak to you. It's constantly pointing out where your next big opportunity is, how you can save money, and what your customers are really asking for. By avoiding these 5 silent killers, you can finally clear out the noise and start to actually listen. So the only real question left is, are you ready to act on what it's telling you?